Hello everyone, my name is Skylar Morgan, and as the final project of the 2020 Health Society and Policy Capstone, we were tasked with solving a problem with a new policy. Here we came up with Get Trucked, solving our community's heaviest problem. The 5 points I will be bringing up today are: what is the policy? Why is this policy important? How can this policy be implemented? Who does this policy affect? Throughout the semester, we have learned a lot about food, the different aspects of food, and the supply chain. We want to focus on the transportation of food. Before I state our policy, here is a little background on the issue. Currently, there are limits pertaining to weight, length, width, and tire size on all commercial trucks in the United States. These limitations vary by state and are dependent on the infrastructure of the roads. The current federal regulation on all shipping trucks is 80,000 pounds maximum that can be avoided by purchasing state-level permits that allow for heavier loads to be transported. This is an issue for long-haul truckers who must cross multiple state lines and, by extension, purchase and renew multiple state permits. International competitors to the U.S. like Mexico and Canada have higher weight limits than the U.S. highways and interstates. This puts domestic industries at a competitive disadvantage when it comes to commerce. Truck weight limits exist to maintain the infrastructure of roads. These limits also enforce safety measures for not only the truck drivers themselves, but other drivers on the road. Truck size and weight limits have existed since 1956, when the International Highway System began. The American Trucking Association has fought for higher weight limits in the past, stating as long as axle distribution is proportioned in the right way, this could be safer for truckers and others on the road. According to the Ship Coalition, federal weight limit legislation has not been updated since 1982. In the 35 years since this move, both road building and trucking technology have improved in quality dramatically. It's time to update this. It's time to get trucked. What is our policy? The policy would be exclusively for trucks hauling food and agricultural related products. Federal weight limits will be increased from 80,000 pounds to 120,000 pounds if a sixth axle is included for the truck and trailer system. It would also require more frequent brake checks for those trucks that are utilizing the new weight limits. The policy would introduce increasing commercial trailer weight limits for agricultural cargo, such as livestock and uncovered produce in the U.S., at a federal level. By enacting this policy, we will reduce unnecessary emissions by reducing the total number of trucks needed to ship food products. Adding the sixth axle to the trailer system will improve road safety for all drivers by increasing braking efficiency and allowing the driver more control of their rig. It would also be a small but significant step in simplifying and streamlining the food supply chain. This policy is important because increasing the weight of these specific trailers would reduce the number of trips a commercial trailer would take, which is the single biggest factor in highway accidents involving commercial trailers. Increasing the weight limit on trailers would create a need for commercial trailers to go from 5 axles to 6 axles to increase safety and stability. These adjustments will distribute the weight of the truck and delay the wear of infrastructure. The food supply chain is overwhelmingly complex and difficult to navigate for workers along all points of the process. It is often slowed by unnecessary blanket regulations that are put in place specifically with the food supply chain in mind. By loosening some regulations affecting the supply chain, we can make its navigation easier and more efficient overall for workers. This policy would also allow our agricultural sector to be more competitive globally, as other nations like Canada and Mexico previously stated have higher federal weight limits for their shipping trucks and supply chains. Who does this policy affect directly? While the main goal of the policy is to increase weight limits on commercial trucks, The overall people who will see benefit from the policy are those in our food supply chain. Throughout the semester, we have learned many aspects about agriculture. By increasing the limits of commercial trucks that are transporting produce and livestock, we provide more opportunity for those in agricultural communities to send more of their commodities at once, while also reducing operating costs and unnecessary carbon emissions. This policy would increase the competitiveness of America's agriculture industries globally as it pertains to shipping product. In addition to this new policy, it would also help pertinent issues such as driver shortage, air quality, and operational costs. According to the American Trucking Association, there is currently a national shortage of truck drivers. In 2019, they reported that they need over 60,000 more drivers, and they are expecting the number to increase as the years go on. With this issue at hand, increasing the weight limit would be a step in the right direction to help solve this problem. The Health Society and Policy Capstone has allowed us to integrate our knowledge we have gained through the course to create this policy, where we can help the agriculture community and those within the food supply chain. Thank you for listening and your time, and go Utes.